We got a chance to speak to the writer, producer, directors of 65, Scott Beck and Bryan Woods. Check it out. I've got to know, I'm not sure how old the both of you are, but watching 65, I get the impression that we grew up watching the same things. And your movie has this throwback quality to it. And I was curious as to what were the things that inspired this spark of an idea.
Oh, so many influences on this movie. I mean, first of all, Scott and I were, kids when the first Jurassic Park came out, and that blew our minds and made us want to be filmmakers. But we also had a deep love of Ridley Scott's Alien. And the movie is kind of a hybrid of those tones. And it's also, the movie's an odd throwback to silent film in a weird way from the 20s, because one of the approaches to the material was to attempt to strip out all the exposition and all the dialogue and really we wanted this kind of this pressure cooker that's all about the cinematic language, which is like visuals and performance and sound and music. So that was another heavy influence on this film.
Very cool. Tell me, I'm glad you mentioned Jurassic Park, because I was going to ask you about the design of the dinosaurs, because there were some moments when I spotted feather-looking things, and then other moments when it felt like you went a little sci-fi. And I was curious as to whether you wanted it to have that realism, or did you just decide at some point, let's go nuts?
I mean, to be honest, like in prepping the film, there was a degree we consulted with paleontologists and researchers. And what's fascinating is there's science to lean into, and then there's theory, and then there's also the unknown. Like, given in the span of the Earth's history, there's so much still unknown about dinosaurs. And so what we did was consulting also with visual effects supervisors, looking at the different behavioral patterns that animals have this day in terms of hunting. We found, your staples of like your T-Rexes, where you have full skeletal fossils. And then there's others where there's partial fossils. And we thought that was an exciting experiment to kind of build upon that, even looking at different crocodilian type animals that existed with the dinosaurs. They've been around for 300 million years. And so there's a lot of different leeway that you can kind of carve your own path there. And so it's kind of a blend of theory and science that was a really exciting endeavor that we invited, smarter minds than us to help consult on.
It's very clear that the both of you geeked out as much as I did after watching that first Jurassic Park movie.
No
tell me this, I've got like a minute left, but at which point did you guys decide to not have them speak the same language? Was that always the case, or did you lean into the silent movie stuff that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, it was always the case. We love challenges in movies. We love putting our characters through the worst imaginable experiences and making their relationships tricky and their survival tricky. And the communication barrier was something that not only added a challenge to their journey, but it also allowed us to create a movie that's not about the languages we speak, but more about the universal language of cinema. And the hope is that the movie could play in any country in the world, and you wouldn't even almost need to know what they're saying. It's not about what they're saying, it's about what they're feeling on the inside.
And Adam Driver with a laser gun.
Yes. Of course, obviously.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
65 drops in cinemas on Thursday, March 9th. Let us know what you think of the movie once you've seen it. Sound off in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our other interviews right here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. You know what to do.